My name is Danielle. I'm 32, and my brother's fiancée brutally assaulted me in my own kitchen while my brother just stood there and watched. Before I tell you how I used my signature to deny them the mortgage on their dream house and expose them in court, let me know where you're watching from in the comments. The first thing I remember is the cold. The tile of my kitchen floor was shockingly cold against my cheek. A sharp, coppery taste filled my mouth. Blood. A dull, throbbing ache radiated from my ribs, making each breath a small, calculated agony. I blinked, trying to clear the haze from my vision, and saw him, my brother Michael. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me towards the front door, his face a mask of annoyance, as if my crumpled body on the floor was a minor inconvenience, a mess he didn't want to deal with. He stepped over my legs, careful not to let his expensive leather shoes touch my jeans, and walked out of my apartment. He didn't say a word, not one. My phone, which had clattered to the floor during the scuffle, buzzed on the tiles beside my head. The screen lit up. It was a text from Michael for words that shattered what was left of my heart into a million tiny pieces. Stay away from us. Tears of betrayal stunned my eyes, a pain far sharper than the split in my lip. I lay there for a moment, the cold of the floor seeping into my bones, the silence of the apartment pressing in on me. Then something shifted inside me. The hurt didn't vanish, but it crystallized into something hard and clear. Resolve. My fingers trembling just a moment before became steady. I reached for the phone, my movements slow and deliberate. I typed back a single word, a word that felt like it was forged in ice. Done. I hit send. A terrifying silence filled the apartment. What did done mean for them? It was a dismissal, a confirmation that their unwanted sister would disappear. For me, it was a promise. A promise that the Daniel they knew, the one who always forgave, who always picked up the pieces, was gone forever. To understand why this betrayal cut so deep, you have to understand my family. It was always the Michael show. I was the responsible one, the one with the stable career and the higher salary. But those were just facts, background noise. Michael was the story. I remember one Christmas dinner a few years back. He announced he'd gotten a small raise at his entry level job. My mother beamed, raising her glass as if he just won a Nobel Prize. To my son, building his empire, she declared to the room. The whole family applauded. Later that evening, I quietly mentioned I just landed the biggest project of my career, a huge promotion that came with a significant pay increase in stock options. My mother just patted my hand, her eyes already scanning the room for Michael. That's nice, dear, she said distractedly, but don't work yourself too hard. You don't want to intimidate potential husbands. A woman's real treasure is her family. Michael just sat there, soaking in the praise, and didn't say a thing. He never did. It was the same story after our grandfather's funeral. The small inheritance he left was quietly funneled to help Michael with a down payment on a flashy new car he didn't need. While I was told I was doing well enough on my own, I wasn't a daughter to be invested in. I was a family safety net, a resource to be tapped when needed. I remember another time when we were teenagers. Michael had borrowed our dad's vintage watch without asking and lost it at a party. When my dad found out, Michael immediately pointed the finger at me, and I stupidly took the fall, working a miserable part time job for months to pay for a replacement just to keep the peace. That was my role, the peacemaker, the problem solver, the invisible pillar holding everything up. And then came Sarah. When Michael first brought her home, she was quiet, a little lost, all wide eyes, and a sad story about her difficult past. I felt for her. I saw a kindred spirit, another woman trying to find her place in the world. When she was struggling to find a job and a place to live, I was the one who helped. I didn't just co sign her first apartment lease, I sat with her for hours, helping her rewrite her resume. I even fronted her the security deposit and first month's rent, no questions asked, telling her to pay me back whenever she could. She cried and called me the sister she never had. I defended her to my friends when they whispered she seemed opportunistic, a little too good at playing the victim. She just needs a chance. I'd insisted. She's family now. I wanted to believe it. I wanted for once for my brother to have chosen someone who would add to our family, not just take from it. Lying on that kitchen floor, the memory of my own kindness felt like acid in my throat. I pushed myself up, each movement a fresh wave of pain. My reflection in the dark screen of the oven was a stranger's face, swollen and bruised. I called the only